Alright, what's going on? This is West Dakota winning every single time, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to lose, transmute L's into W's, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta clear some shit to the side. I normally don't record videos outside like this, but due to my situation, this, that, and the third, this seems that this is actually rather appropriate. I'm probably gonna start doing more of these, so, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a quick video about just some kind of numerology, some number breakdown as far as something I was just observing as far as my perspective. So as far as 2023, that last year equal to, well, we're still in, technically, the new year ain't started until March. Different video, different conversation, but as far as the 2023, if you do the math, that adds up to 7. So last year was like a 7 year. There was a lot of things kind of coming to the surface, you could say, or things like a lot of separating was going on. A lot of maybe a lot of like people's ties, or maybe certain everybody was trying to be seen for something, you know what I mean? Or kind of tap into their higher, more yo 7, angelic bag. So if 1, 4, and 7 are the masculine numbers, 2, 5, 8 are the feminine numbers, and 3, 6, and 9 are, like androgynous and whatnot. So the 7, you could say 7 is like, that's like the peak of your masculinity or expression, or pushing something out. You know what I mean? There's it's a lot of shit tied into that. But pretty much, it was a 7 year, and my observation in this context, as far as this video, where I'm going with this is, if you into astrology, or you aware of the house system and whatnot, just that 7 energy is like, the Libra to the body. It's like, you could say the hips, or what you're willing to bend over and compromise with. More so, what I'm trying to point to more so is the relating aspect, right? Maybe things being in balance. There's a lot of teams. A lot of the concept of a team. Like-mindedness. It's a whole bunch of shit. But as far as just a lot of social dynamics, as far as how people relate to themselves and externally, internally and externally. A lot of changes were made last year, or a lot of things were brought to the awareness, right? If we're talking about expression and masculinity, or just lights, awareness, meaning light and weight, not this light right here, but light and weight, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me being all whatever the fuck, it's about keeping things in a more, if you quote unquote, positive outlook, you know what I'm saying? Because we're always trying to improve and change our mind and see how can I create a new, more favorable way of how I see myself. Otherwise, you're just an individual that's kind of on a downhill, downward spiral, really just going more into yourself, which is more holistic and more lostness, and more like eventually you're just gonna implode. You're just gonna implode from like the inside out. You're just gonna implode internally and just explode inside of yourself. You might not even, that type of being they won't even blow up or push nothing out. They just keep everything in their whole life, and just all that energy will just might drive them crazy. That's a different conversation. But just the 7 number though, just relating, a lot of relating shit was kind of the focus, right? So just going through my experiences and how I, relate to others and things like that. A lot of things are now online, social media, a lot of changes just in the world, right? As far as how people relate on just a generality, right? There's more to that, of course. Pretty much relationships, to me, have died. AKA, going into this now, this is 2024, the 8 year. You could say it's like what would be next? The Scorpio, that kind of 8th house, right? So that's like shit behind the scenes, putting time into shit, having a fixed emotion and feeling about something, or even just yourself, or sex, the joining of two energies or multiple energies to create some type of new body, right? Intimacy. It's a lot of things with the 8. Infinity. It's a lot of things with the 8. Debates. Create. It's a lot of things. Like when we start talking about that 8 process, yeah, it's a lot of. You talk about. You got. It's a lot of shit tied in with that 8. It's not just what it looks like. But pretty much, that's kind of the conclusion that I'm coming to. 2003, the 7 year, people was coming more into their individuality. If we want to talk about the Libra shit, just real quick, that 7 energy, what's opposite to 7? 1. And then also, with that being said, we had the North Node in Aries also during last year, so that was kind of and then a whole bunch of other alignments and shit. I'm not gonna go into all that, but as far as just the initiating a new way of how to see your individuality or how to see yourself, and your actual authentic individualityness, not what the world, society, external will try to have you maybe look at, how you think an individual should be. No, like genuinely being an individual, or at least doing the things in the world in a new way that's a little bit closer to God. You know what I'm saying? By you being your individual self and having your own unique characteristics, persona, mind, however you want to frame it, right? So all that was kind of going on last year, 2023. A lot of self-evaluations, a lot of, people maybe looking themselves in the mirror in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? If you kind of planted some good seeds, and yeah, you did tap into your higher angelic natures. If you was planting bad seeds prior to that or whatever, then a lot of people was looking themselves in the mirror and maybe seeing their not so purdy side to God, their demonic, lower animalistic, beastly side of themselves, right? So a lot of people, though, like life life has its way. God has its way. God works in mysterious ways. So shit has a funny way of presenting itself to possibly, show the individual what they need to learn or what they need to change or what they, still clinging on to, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, 8 to me is the death of relationships. You know what I'm saying? 7 to me, 2023 was that already, but 8 is like the confirmation that, okay, any previous way of relating in the world prior to 2020 and just any old way of previously relating is done. That shit died. So it's like each day is literally a new day. I just talked to my sister earlier. The other day I was kind of going through some shit. I called her back today, kind of try to clear up maybe a misunderstanding or how I was thinking or feeling the other day, and maybe says. So I'm like realizing though, like each day is a new day, and if you're a real powerful spirit, you gonna stand on your business and always be accountable for yourself, and and make sure that you take like I said, that you take accountability for your own self. Ain't nobody doing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, unless you just a weak ass spirit. But like I said, if you a powerful spirit, you gonna stand on your business. You gonna like, yeah, this, that, and the third, or you know what I'm saying. And then if it's genuine, the people around you or the people places that it's gonna be reciprocated or at least equalized. It'll be understood. It won't be so harsh. It won't be so much animosity. So, but yeah, pretty much just to sum it up, 2023, that was the year of relating. 2024, in this context, there's a whole bunch of other points to this, but I'm just making certain points. In this context, 2024 is the confirmation that any previous ways of relating is over with. This shit died. You know what I'm saying? We've been forced to transform. Pluto, Capricorn statuses, Capricorn season itself, Mars going into Capricorn. It's been a whole lot of, you gotta look at your status and look at how you want to be seen in the broadest, or people might just be on a mundane. I'm on some broad shit. I look at myself on a broad, some broad shit, and I just ain't maybe necessarily everybody got their own shit. I didn't tend to get in my own way here and there. Let's just say that. There's been times and moments where I just get in my own way. I don't say self-sabotage, but for the lack of words, yeah, like just kind of hard-headedness. But sometimes I'm doing shit for God, and God ain't really got nobody to give me no thoughts and feelings, like to explain some shit. So anytime I was coming up with my own thoughts and feelings, that's when I know I wasn't being with God. I was actually going further away from God. All possibilities. And that's the devil, and that's limit. The devil's like limitation, and just get lost into a desire, like you thinking like, okay, I ain't gonna get this desire any other way but how I've been getting it or whatever. Like that's limitation, and that's kind of like what maybe brought us here to, or at least me. I can't speak for everybody, but that's why I'm here. That's how I feel. Probably like not having belief, not having faith, not having like real true conviction in whatever it is I'm trying to materialize or materialize. So it's just all about what you want to make it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I had to put death to a lot of the old ways that I thought were the right ways of me relating. Let me just say this too to wrap it up. With that being said, since the old ways are kind of done relating, or we got to put a new spin on it, really we need to just come up with a whole new way of relating. This whole tear us down, rebuild us up concept the Jews been having the world in for like thousands of years is like a roller coaster ride to real spirits and angels and beings that really don't want to be here and shit. In this particular, you're gonna be here, you ain't going nowhere. But I'm talking about like in this kind of vortex wheel, little cycle that people kind of like, as a collective, is kind of like, I don't want to say stuck in, but kind of at the whim of the people that took over some shit. They, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, the old ways of relating are over. So each day in this new time, and now it's like an 8. So now it's like it's almost like everybody's we're trying to pay it. We're trying to give some time just to let things kind of breathe. It's been a hell of a lot of the past few years. So we're just trying to like let things breathe, but also we know there's a sense of urgency and we can't really like push it off anymore. Now's the time. So put death to whatever it is you need to put death to, it's winter time still, and get ready for spring. That's pretty much all I gotta fucking say.